So welcome everybody. We're very excited to be here in Zoom because majority of folks did sign up for the session in Zoom. And I would like to introduce Lori, who is a faculty member in the English department. And
Mhm.
she is one of our fall 2024 CTE faculty affiliates. So this is one of the 4 workshops that Lori is going to be leading this fall. And I look forward to seeing what Lori has to say this semester. So I'll pass the
Okay.
baton to you, Lori.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming in the middle of the day to a workshop. Um, so I'll just jump into what I have to present. Our topic is Dear Professor, I can't find my homework. And I'm assuming that we've all had students who came to class and like asked these kinds of questions and said they didn't do their work. So I'll start with a PowerPoint, which I have uploaded into a shared box folder, and I'll go ahead and put it here in the chat box. That has this PowerPoint in a PDF, and it also has some other um, documents that I'll share with you. Let me get this started. Okay. All right. So I can't, let's see if I can see you. Yes, I can see you still. So just please stop me if you have a question or want to, add anything or challenge me. Okay. So essentially, this is the focus of this little meeting. It's to optimize Canvas for clarity, ease, and your peace of mind. So I'm going to be showing you one way that I do this that I've adopted a few years ago. Um, it's just one of many ways, and I would also like to hear at the end of this presentation what you do to make sure that the students can find everything easily and as a consequence, they're more likely to actually come to class prepared, having read the assignments, having done all of the written assignments necessary. So the one way I do it is through the pages in Canvas. So this is a little visual when students come to class and they have an assigned reading and they say, I couldn't find the reading. I didn't even know we had a reading, or I couldn't find, the document in Canvas or the link. So my question to you all is like, why do students do this? I mean, there's a variety of reasons why students say this and this happens, but first of all, have you experienced this, and why do you think students do this?
I think it's often an excuse.
An excuse
I
for
have
being
seen
Yeah, for not
unprepared?
doing the work.
unprepared.
Okay. That's absolutely true, I think.
I've seen, so I've worked with a lot of faculty in organizing their Canvas courses. And for some faculty, I've seen people don't find it because the Canvas course is unorganized. So they might not be using some of these tools, not like the pages or folder, like, and you just can't find the information because it's not organized in a way that you can go into a specific place and find it. It could be multiple places in Canvas, but at the same time, nowhere in Canvas.
Mhm.
But if you give it a due date, it usually just appears in their feed on their front page. So even if your course is organized or unorganized, if you have a due date, they see what's
True.
coming, right?
If they create an
Right.
assignment with
But
a
yeah,
due
you
date,
have
right?
to.
Like sometimes they don't create an assignment. They put a Word file with the instructions for an assignment and they put it in a folder, right? So, and then there's too many folders and they use a folder like they would use a box. So that's when they
Mhm.
wouldn't find the instructions.
They're
And
like
so, yeah, it makes
sifting
a lot.
through.
So they have to sift through all the information. They can't find anything. So there isn't a standard way to organize Canvas, right? There's multiple ways of doing it. So sometimes it's just challenging for the students.
Yeah. Anyone else want to add anything? So I'll add on to what Konstantin said. And I find that if I don't have a due date on something, the students won't do it. And is also that little box in Canvas that says send students a reminder in like discussions, and if it's not graded, which I have done too, to get them to see that to do. But it also makes it very fiddly for us. We've got a lot of fiddling to do with the assignments and the due dates, and sometimes there's a range of due dates, and for the whole class, because classes are presenting at different times, and it just makes it really difficult for us. So I think that we also need to be a little bit we need to have a little bit of grace with the students, show a little bit of grace, because we make assumptions when we come into, especially with this generation, and in the last couple of years, that this generation is so fluent with technology because they've been using it since they were born practically. And we make the assumption that they're going to be as fluent with apps and software as they are with social media. And social media is designed to make everything just very, very easy and addictive, like swipe left, swipe right, that's it. And ours is much more complicated. So we have to think about like where they're coming from. They are in all of these different classes. They're using Canvas in all of them, we hope. But like there's Inquisitive that we use in Writer, there's Perusall, there's MATLAB, there's MindTap, Pearson eBooks, Norton eBooks, Canopy, Google. I mean, there's just like all of these apps that the students have to use, and we can link them to Canvas, but they still have to like go in and sign in, and it's a different platform, and it can be just confusing in general. So we're asking our students to do a lot of things. And so I thought, okay, what can I do to make sure that everything is streamlined for them? So I was rethinking my Canvas calendar, and I thought, okay, I can use the modules, because before I was using the modules to like store everything and then trying to assign weeks to them. And that was like my first step. And I think it's because of Addie and others that I was rethinking how to present my material. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you a few studies, recent studies about student confusion, because I don't think we should ignore that as a real reason why they're confused. My son is a senior. He's going to graduate this semester, we hope. And he's taking a class with a professor he loves. It's one of his favorite professors, but he absolutely hates the way she uses Canvas because he can't find anything. And he has some disabilities, so he needs some help in finding the due dates and finding the actual text. So let's see who this is. I can't see because my screen is hiding it. So this is Furman. I've got all of the articles, the peer-reviewed studies and research in the sources at the back of this PowerPoint. But they said there's a theory in social psychology called thin slicing, and that's just basically the first impressions are difficult to break. But they say it applies not only to the first day of class, but the first 5 minutes, and also applies to our curriculum. So once they open Canvas and they start seeing the way we're arranging our things, they're starting to make a judgment right away, not only about the class and the professor, but about their ability to navigate this. Whoops. Why am I going backwards? Not sure. Let's see. I don't know why I'm going backwards. It's not letting me go forward. There we go. Okay. So what we want to do with our calendar is like take control of that idea of thin slicing. So students experience confusion, obviously, when they're confronted with something that's like a contradiction, or they can't get past something, and then they don't know how to proceed. So, but and that persistent confusion can affect their own self-esteem and then create negative attitudes. So this is kind of big. I've got a couple big ones, but we're not going to read the whole thing. The main point is that there are some advantages to confusion. Obviously, it can cause students to stop, reflect, and begin active problem solving to resolve their own confusion. And it can be positive if they can effectively regulate their confusion, or if their learning environment provides sufficient scaffolding to help them do so. So the problem is that we need to make sure that they do not, like, it's not an impasse for them, because it can result in reduced student achievement, according to Yang and his buddies. Also, confusion associated with failure to resolve an impasse can create that ultimate disengagement from the learning process. Okay, so what are we going to do to resolve the confusion? We have to figure out what, where, and when to place everything. So my idea is to combine the old school syllabus calendar with modern links. So the last little quote here from a study is by Lopez et al. She was saying that essentially what we're all realizing, and that is that students, when they interact with the LMS, whatever it is, whether it's Blackboard or Canvas, they are looking at that to-do list. And because they're relying so much on the to-do list, they're not even looking at the syllabus anymore. They're not even going to the modules and looking at what they're supposed to read. They see the to-do and they're like, I got something to do. Let me do it real quick. And they don't even read the assignment before they do it. And then they turn in low quality work. And a lot of times those to-dos pop up and it doesn't like give them adequate time, or they notice it and it doesn't give them adequate time to actually do the reading assignment. So first I emailed Addie and I was like, can I get rid of the to-do list? Do you remember that? Was that you? And she was like, no, we can't do that. Because I was like, it's a crutch, they're leaning on that too much. And they're not doing anything for their classes unless it's right there on the to-do. So the second challenge I had was modules, like how to use the modules effectively, so that the students could find their work. So here's just an example of a course where papers are, and this is for our writer faculty. So it's arranged like this for a reason, but a lot of people will just attach things and like folders, like Addie said, and then you don't have any like references to time when that's due. And I think that was confusing to the students because they're having to sift through there. So the next, my next iteration of it was to put modules for each week. So they would click on this module and then click on the week, and then it would take you to, let's say they clicked on basics. Then it would take them to a page that I had created where I just copied in whatever was in my syllabus. So I wasn't creating anything. I was just really copying and pasting. And that way the students knew exactly what they needed to read before class, what they needed to write before class, because it's a writing heavy class, and then just whatever topics we were going to discuss. And these links actually were helpful to me so that I could just go in and click on it during my lecture. But the problem was with this was that creating pages for every single week was really time consuming, and I was exhausted by the end. I'm always exhausted, but I mean, it is worth front loading the work into the pages at the beginning of the semester. But yeah, it's a little exhausting to have it separated that way. So the last thing I did was try to make a one-stop shopping kind of syllabus calendar. So what I wanted to do was make sure it was easy to find, that all the course readings could be found in one click, the location of the semester's readings and homework wouldn't change throughout the semester. So they didn't have to go to a different module to find what they needed to do. And then I wanted to have it really easy to submit so the students could see their reading assignments on the same page as the submission link. Whoops, let me go back. So I found this redirect tool just Googling, doing some research on the best way to like create a navigation that was easy. So this is actually from the redirect tool site on Canvas. The 3-click rule of web design explains that accessing web content should not take more than 3 clicks to reach the desired content. It can be tricky to follow this web design advice, but it's a good rule of thumb to try and follow. The redirect tool can limit the number of clicks needed for students to find the most used resources. So that's what I used. And the redirect tool is one of our apps that is connected to Canvas. It's already in Canvas. So how do we use that effectively? So this is what my calendar of assignments look like. So when the students click on their home page, when they open the home page, it is, whoops, I'm going to pause this. Can I pause it? Yes. Okay. That's a video. It's fancy. So when they come to the home page, they see this calendar of assignments, but I created a redirect and just called the redirect tool, the menu tool, calendar of assignments, so that they could see a wider version of the calendar of assignments, because when they look on their phone, this calendar of assignments is like a really scrunch because they have the to-do on the side to remind them on the home page, and you can't get rid of the to-do, as far as I know, on the home page. So they have this calendar of assignments, and these things here, the syllabus, the paper, the MLA. I have a little blue dot on my cursor. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the blue dot? Okay. The MLA and the ebooks, these are all little links in the page that they can go to rather quickly, so that the syllabus is not over here. Now, I think I might have to, by SMU advice, I guess, or strong advice, to put the simple syllabus there. But the syllabus here in my just sheet is exactly the same as what's on the simple syllabus. So having the syllabus and the simple syllabus, I thought was a little redundant, but I'll talk to somebody about if I have to have that simple syllabus there. And then I have some reminders about like what each paper weighs, a link to MLA guidelines, and that's actually to their ebook. And then this is a link to the ebooks, which are all listed in the modules, because that was the only place I could get them. Okay, so this is what it looks like. No. Let's see if I can go through. All right, so when the students open, they click on the calendar of assignments if they want to see it wider. And then I'm just scrolling down to show you what it looks like. And it goes all the way down to the rest of the semester. So essentially, I've just copied and pasted in my my calendar, and then I linked everything. So there's the syllabus. And then they have a link to paper weights. The ebooks take them here to the modules. So that's what I use the modules for, essentially, the books. And then if this is a sample of me logging into the ebook, that takes the students right there to the link. So just showing a few more things. So the students, if they have something due, they would just click on the link and it's right there. And I just have an attachment for each one to fill out, and then they submit that. And then this assignment's locked. I clicked on it and forgot that it's locked. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second and see if you have questions about this or comments.
I guess just one comment about I guess the only negative effect of, or negative thing about the redirect tool, right?
Hmm.
Is that whenever you copy the contents for the next semester, you have to relink the page link for that course.
The
Have you
page that's all,
noticed
you
that?
mean everything that's in the pages here?
No,
No,
no, no, no. So
um,
here from the menu on the left, right?
mhm.
So this link here links to this page that is part of this course right here. So if you
Yeah.
copy it over, it will copy the link, but it will link for the previous semester's page. It
Hmm.
goes back. So you just have to, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You just have to
Yeah.
relink because this page will be
Right.
copied over. You just have to relink to the page that got copied for that course for that term.
Yes. So the redirect, you just go into the settings and
Yes.
copy the URL of the page that's in
Yes.
your new, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and obviously all of these links are going to copy over to the next semester. But I will often, like this is a new book this semester. It's not a new book, it's a new edition. So all the page numbers changed and everything. So I had to fiddle with that to find it. And you can be as aggressive as you want in linking, or just really passive and forcing your students to find the documents online. I link the all of our ebook readings just to make sure that they have access to that and they know exactly where to find it. But they have some things that are not digital, so they have to like open the book and find the page numbers themselves.
I'm just gonna bring your attention to one question that's on the chat.
Uh-huh. Yes, please.
So, Gabriella asks, you made the assignment in the quiz tab, invisible on the left, but you still have them hyperlinked in your calendar, correct?
So yes, I could make it a quiz, and everything is hyperlinked. So you would click on that, and it would take the students directly to the quiz. Is that answering your question? Oh, okay. So you've made the assignment and tab invisible. Yeah. So it is hyperlinked. They won't be able to see it until it opens. So this one happens to open during class time because it's something I want them to write in class. Okay. Kelly says, how much time did this take to create? All right. So for the page, it didn't take long at all because I was just copying and pasting the information into the page. I wanted to make it pretty, so I was doing a little research on how to do that. So that took a little bit of time, but actually, like to do it once I figured out how to do it, it didn't take much time at all because I was just borrowing somebody else's code. The linking is, I think, the most labor intensive, but once you're open, let me just go through this page here. So this is the best way to streamline that. You just drop all your instructions and readings into files like you normally do, right? You just drop everything there. I like to put everything in folders like units so that my items are easy to find. And then you create your assignments and your discussions and graded discussions as usual, just like you normally do. And then the magic happens when you add a page. So you create a page, and then you paste your calendar into the page, and then you in the edit mode, you just link all of your assignments. So you can do it all at once. You don't have to go in one at a time and link and close. You just go in and create the hyperlink, highlight the whatever the assignment is, click on link, and then you have the two options, which are files or links at the top. And if it's a file, a document, you just go in and link the document. And if it's a quiz or an assignment or anything else, just go to your links and click on it. And then close that out. And then the last step would be to redirect that page to a calendar of assignments so that everybody can see it. I mean, you can just make it your home page and that's it and leave it there and not even do the redirect. But I think that, as I said before, a lot of students are looking at this on their phones and even on the iPad, and it's like really, I don't know why it doesn't expand. You do have the little hamburger, and the hamburger can make it bigger. And I'll show you what I mean by that afterwards. So I'm not getting out of this PowerPoint. Oops. Okay, so this is just a really quick way to redirect, and you can use this. You can go back to this later if you want to look at the information. So it's in settings. So you go to your settings, and then you go to apps, and then it's alphabetical. Even though it's just a sign, it doesn't even say redirect. It's just like this little icon. So, but it's under the R's, and then you will in here the name put calendar of assignments, and then here paste in the page, the URL of the page. So you have to make sure you find the URL of the page you're working on, and then just put it in there, and then you show it in your course navigation. And those are the sort of 3 steps. So it looks like this: calendar of assignments, you've got your URL, and then you click on course navigation. So that's what my home menu looks like. So I have the modules there. I wish I could rename it like ebooks, but we can't rename the modules. And then they have their grades. And I did leave in Smart Search. I think it's kind of in beta mode, where if a student needs to find a file of some sort, that they can search, like a Google search, and find the file if they know part of the name of it. But I don't know if it's how well it's gonna work, and so we'll see. So there are lots of approaches to streamline, uh, your Canvas so that the students have, a clear pathway. So I'm also wondering if you guys have some ideas to share about what you do, what's worked for you.
Can I say something? I
Yeah,
think
please.
for me, the best thing has been to streamline things is to include as few outside elements as possible and do everything within what's it called? Within Canvas. So like I did a redesign for my immigration course, I worked with OIT and they had assigned a person to me and we worked together and they have these like templates and you do everything in modules. And then from modules, you can create little pages to link to other things if you need to. And then making sure that all your assignments have due dates, until dates, and things like that. And that like streamlines everything. When you click on the syllabus tab, it shows you a huge list of everything that's coming up for the entire semester. And that's helped a lot for me to show the material that was needed to my students.
That's great. And when they're working with the modules, when you put everything in modules, do you how do you organize that? Do you have like the the title of like what you're doing on one day, and then you have to tab it over a little bit so everything is
Let
underneath
me,
that?
I don't
So
know if
kind
I
of like
can
an
show
outline.
you, but I could maybe I'll put a screenshot in the chat.
I think you can share. It says all participants can share.
Okay, let me share this then. 1 second, I gotta get it.
Because I'm asking because I've done that with I think I've done that, and it works too. But
This is
I
my
think the students have
course.
to look.
And then if you go to
Mhm.
modules, it takes you to a way where you can go one thing at a time and you can put
Yeah.
requirements to submit something, to view
Mhm.
something. Then you go to the next module, and I made it where I have required content where the students must see certain things. Like they have
Mhm.
to go to all these websites, read them. Then I put my PowerPoints. So any student that maybe was missed or something can download
Mhm.
the PowerPoint for that specific module. Then all my assessments. will be in this thing, and there's a mini wrap up for each module. So like depending on the module, you'll have more quizzes or more PowerPoints or other readings. And that has
Mhm.
been super helpful because then if somebody goes to syllabus and then scrolls past all this other information, you get to this thing called course summary, and this tells you
Mhm.
what you need to do literally every day. But it's all
So
in.
have you made your assignments? Have you made all of your readings assignments so that it pops up the readings?
So the readings are not assignments, they are under modules
Mhm.
and they are called required content. And the students must view the pages. So they have to go through the
Mhm.
modules and they have to click on each one. Otherwise, the quizzes won't open. So they have to
So this is
look.
so all of that required content, is that all in one day or is it separate days that do
No,
they have
I have a
multiple days?
syllabus, and on the syllabus, it tells them what they need to do every day.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that
syllabus and then
the
this.
the advantage of Constantine's model is
Hmm.
that by putting the items individually within the module, you can reinforce a sequential viewing of the items, and you can enforce what the students need to be doing before they do something else, right? I
Hmm.
think
Yes.
that both of the models are great for organizing because the students have clear understanding where the materials are and what they're expected to do. So that is very important. So however you do it, as long as organized, which is great, right? Like Lori's is organized in a beautiful way. And there's that table, they can find it, all the links are there. They don't have to be looking at different places. Same thing with Constantine's. So, but with Constantine's, you can enforce that if you don't complete those, if you don't view those
Hmm.
links, if you don't open and view those things, you cannot open the assessment, right? So at
Right.
least they have
Yeah.
to click on it, which is
Sometimes they just
harder
skip
to
through it,
do.
but
Yeah.
I mean, but it's like they must have done something. And yeah, I mean, we can't enforce everything. At the
Hmm.
end, it's still the student that has to do the work. Um, but I just like yeah, to me, the most important thing, modules important, but like making sure all assignments have due dates and things. Once you do that, then the students, it will just pop up in their main view, their homepage of the course, what's coming up and what happened. And they shouldn't miss stuff. If they miss stuff, they have an open canvas. And then that's a different story.
Right. I wish that we had a way to, like for the ebooks that we assign, I wish we had a way to do that where you have to complete this reading before you move on to the writing assignment that's supposed to sort of
I know
test or
I feel
practice.
exactly the same when I was teaching Spanish courses, we had an online textbook and stuff like that. And there are some integrations, but they're never what we want it to be, which is like,
Yeah.
here's this portion of the textbook, read these pages, and it somehow keeps track and it all works within Canvas. And that's why I said earlier, the best thing to do is to keep it all within one spot, which is Canvas, but sometimes
Right.
that's impossible. They'll have homework on one web platform, they'll have homework somewhere else, they have to
Hmm.
submit some stuff and that's where things get really complicated. But I don't know, best practices if possible, if you're creating a new course and you have control over it, is to try to
Hmm.
keep it all in one spot. Then it's much easier for the students to find all the stuff.
I'm wondering too if, like, when they go to that page with the modules and they have all of these things to do, and then they have to click over to syllabus to find out what they're doing for the particular day, like, it's all listed in the modules, but you
Let
have
me share
it
my
sort of.
syllabus too, so you can see that. Uh,
Mhm. Are they able to yeah, like I can see how students might want to be able to see on the modules page, like, what am I doing today? Um, yeah, and it's not designed that way to do
I
that.
actually really like that. I think that's a really good suggestion. And that'll be kind of cool. Maybe if I take like screenshots of all the different things in the syllabus and then put those at the
Hmm.
beginning of the module. So for example, this is module one. It covers 2 days and it tells you the readings over here and then kind of their homeworks over here or the readings
Hmm.
they're supposed to be doing what's required. But maybe I could like screenshot
That
this
would be
module
lovely.
one and then just add
Uh-huh.
it to the top of the modules so they have this visual representation and kind
Hmm.
of the syllabus within the modules too, so they don't have to skip between the two platforms. That's a cool
Yeah.
idea.
I don't think for now we're able to like put a picture above one of the modules that you have to like click on it and then it'll open the picture. But it would be really cool if we had the picture right above
Mhm.
the module and then, yeah, so they could see
That would be a
visually.
great suggestion to send to Canvas, and then they could
Yeah.
implement that next week instead of in the next 7 years. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it does take a while for them to make those changes.
But that would be really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just show you a couple more things. Let's see. Uh, okay. So we've discussed a little bit. Okay, so basically I have put some materials in the box folder and I've linked it. And there are some how-tos and some images just for fun. So I didn't put the folder link here, but I did drop it the in that chat box. So I wanted to open up that for a second and show you. Let's see. Am I still sharing? No.
No, the sharing stopped.
Okay. So this is the box folder. I just added a few images if you wanted to use them because I found them fun. Um, let's see. Okay, so this is a flowchart on how to set up your home pages. So you've got the most information here on creating that calendar of assignments page. And then it's sort of like it's just a prettier way of looking at what I suggested in the PowerPoint. And then I also have one for different learners, visual learners. So I have this one where I took screenshots of how to create the page and then add the page and then how maybe you should title it because if you have calendar of assignments here and then calendar of assignments here, it's going to like list it multiple times. And then, yeah, how to copy and paste in your calendar and then how to link your assignments and your files. Yeah, just basically going down. And then if you want to make it pretty, if you want to prettify your page, there's a video link in the box folder that I showed you how to just make your how to make these tables different colors and have a border around it just to make it visually attractive. And then for some ambitious people, there's actually a Canvas how to make your paper look like. Do I have a picture of it? No, I don't have a picture of it. Well, you can look at it if you're feeling ambitious. Yeah, and then I showed you how to make it a front page. So, or a home page. So I clicked on use as front page for that page, and then I went to the front page, the home page, and I chose the home page, which is this. So, um, let's see, is there anything else here? Yeah, I think that's about it. So I wanted to offer you some tools to play with it. And the great thing about the pages and having a calendar of assignments page with everything linked there is that you can work on it like in a day and behind the scenes. Even though your information is already there on Canvas, you can just like add that as a supplement for students who are like have learning differences and who would benefit from having everything there on one page and in order. That's the most important part. Like on what day I need to read this and write this, and here's the submission, having it all together there visually can help some students.
For sure. That sounds really cool. I was gonna ask, can you show us the actual Canvas course? Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, yeah, the live Canvas course that I
Yeah,
have. Okay,
very curious how it
so
came together.
sure. Okay, so here's my Canvas course. This is obviously the professor's view. I can show you what the students see. So it's kind of narrow here. I did on the first day of class, I told students basically just a few navigation tips. So there's the hamburger. Sometimes students enter their Canvas course and they don't know why they don't see what other students are seeing. It's because they've had this clicked accidentally. Um, so that makes the Canvas assignment calendar bigger. Um, Let me show you a view of a student. So this is their to-do list. You see, I have everything assigned, but let's say they do the DPS for the Allegory of the Cave. Maybe they didn't read the Allegory of the Cave and they need to do it. So having it on the page, like where it's located, can help. Like they might not. In the past, I've had students say, "I can't find the document in files that you have." So having it here and helps, or even in the modules, so they can go to the calendar of assignments, and that's the redirect, and it makes it much bigger. It can be even bigger for people who need to see, but yeah, so they click on the syllabus as I showed you. They can click on a reminder of the how much the papers are weighted. Um, and then this is a quick link to their book, their ebook, and then the ebooks link is just here. And I have that called ebooks because some students will see modules and they won't know that that's where the ebooks are stored. So they have a quiz link that takes them to Norton, which is part of the ebook, and it automatically grades. That's the only thing that they have to like do extra in the course, like to sign in to something. I think even in Perusall, they have to sign up for it. They have to have like a login for it. And then I have like Konstantin does, that like in case you missed it, PowerPoints, like if they're absent, I just drop it in here. Um, but sometimes in the calendar of assignments, after the fact, let's say I have a PowerPoint. I'll just go in here and edit the page. Oh, I'm in student view, so you can't see. I'll edit the page and then just drop in the PowerPoint here because this is everything that's done in class. So that way, if they've missed it, they can go back and watch the PowerPoint. So here is just a document that's been linked for the students, so they can read that. And then let me get out of student view so you can see. Here's the in-class paragraph that the students are going to be doing. And I don't always have cutesy stickers here, but I just signed on to a free month of Canva Pro, so I have access. So I may be a little excessive with my images.
I think this is
Is
really good. Like
mhm.
the organization is wonderful and it's good, if you have the time and really we should, right? As professors, that's really kind of our job is to be organized and to show all this material and then the students, can't say, "Oh, I didn't know where the stuff was," or "I didn't know what to do. I didn't see it," right? You've taken away
Mhm.
all those excuses and you've
Yeah.
given a really well organized course so they can do it. And I think a lot of students really appreciate that.
I have gotten some good feedback, and I do try to take the temperature of the class and their feelings about technology in pretty early on in the semester, and then at the end of the semester, I ask them, how they felt about the organization and if there's anything else that they would suggest changing so that it's easier for them to know what's expected of them. And I generally get pretty good feedback. They're like, yes, we like this format. So, yeah. Let's see, one new message. Oh, that's the feedback to the
That was
session.
me.
Okay.
I
Okay.
said that
Yeah,
one.
we're almost out of time. Does anybody else want to add something or offer an idea or challenge, offer a challenge here? That's I mean, I understand that it too is fiddly. You have to go in, and if you really want to provide the readings, links to readings, it's a lot of clicking. Um, but for me, it's worth it because I'm going to use this again for the next several falls. And I don't, since we have a new edition, I know they're not going to change it for at least a couple of years. So I don't have to do that again. It will transfer right over. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Thank you, Lori.
We're ending right on time.
Yes. And just, directing your attention to the chat, there's a link for feedback survey if you'd like to provide feedback.
Does everybody
Thank
have a
you.
link to the box now? Did you get the box folder link that was in the chat? Yes? Okay. I sent it to Addie in case you need it. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. Have a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.